Okay. All right. I think so. All right. So, yeah. Hey, Kira,
Yeah.
let's talk JoJo.
All right.
And and let's do it with All-Star Battle. We've got the game here. We've got all the unlocks. We've got everything going, all the costumes. And I guess spoilers-wise, how are we going to handle this?
Well, I know what you told me before we started is, if we're talking for an hour about JoJo, there's no way we're only going to talk about part 5.
Nope. So if you're only following the show, unfortunately, we are going to be going into part 6, part 7, and part 8. I'm at, I guess, early to mid part 8.
Okay, and
right?
I haven't caught up unless there's like a brand new chapter.
So that's kind of the range of our stand.
Range of our stand.
Right? All right.
People are saying I'm muted. I guess they can't hear me.
No, I picked them up. You're up. Okay.
Okay, is this better?
How's sound now?
Maybe? I don't know.
Eat the mic.
You know what? That was my bad.
Oh, is this better? Okay.
Okay.
All right, I think we fixed it.
Yes.
Yay.
And I think I can hear you properly. There we go. Let me
Yes,
just
all
position my
right.
dreads away from the microphone. Fantastic. All right.
Okay, so because no one could hear what I was saying earlier,
Yes.
when we were talking beforehand, I said, well, if we're talking for an hour about JoJo, there's kind of no way that we're not gonna talk about the later parts. I am caught up, and I guess you're about midway through part 8.
Yeah.
So,
In other words, read the manga.
yes.
Do it, folks. And, of course, in addition to just, talking and bullshitting about whatever, we'll be taking questions you guys have. If you have any JoJo questions, feel free to throw them out. Same thing to you guys back here. Thanks for coming out. And if you got any JoJo questions, throw them our way. And, yeah, I mean, I don't consider myself an expert. I'm just like a huge fan.
Same, honestly.
But you are like in there, like literally as the finale last night. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you so much. I was so excited to watch it.
Right? Let the voice of love take us all higher.
Mm-hmm.
That happened. And Kira, like one of the first things you ever showed, and it's so cool, is like, how much of a JoJo fan are you? And then you showed me the star birthmark.
Yep.
And I was like, oh no, okay, she's in there.
Mhm.
She's super in there. So that's awesome. Impressive.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, I guess the first thing first, right? Everyone asks, who's your best JoJo?
That's really hard, honestly. I mean, I guess I feel like a lot of people associate me with Jolene for obvious reasons.
For
and
obvious
I do
reasons.
really like her a lot, but I also really like Giorno.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Personally, I'm a Josuke boy.
Okay.
I love the hair. I love the style. I love the kindness to animals.
I have a friend who is just like a real life Josuke, and he used his real hair for Josuke's hair,
Oh
and
my
it looked
goodness.
so cool. He's like kind of popular on Facebook. Some of you guys might know him. He goes by Eli Pompadour because he always cosplays like Pompadour characters,
That's
and
a
he
good
uses
name.
his real hair.
That's a
It's
good name.
somebody's gonna tell him that we give him a shout out. I'm sure.
I feel like if I can get some tech going, I can maybe tie this up in a certain way to get a little dread pompadour going. That'd be fantastic. But yeah, Josuke is definitely my boy as far as favorite JoJo goes.
So, fun fact, we went to breakfast this morning, and we were all walking in and like, look at us, and I was like, we look like stand users.
In small town Michigan, yes.
Because
It
there's
is-
so many memes about that. It's like, be careful, the enemy stand user could be anywhere, and then you see someone like dressed really outrageously
exactly.
or whatever.
Yeah, no, anyone sitting around that diner would be looking around. Just send your punch ghosts at us. Like, we're the users, for sure, 100%.
Well, let's get something started in the background because
Yeah.
I'm sure everyone wants to see. So, like, do you remember how you first got into JoJo or how long it's been for you?
Oh my god. I think, like, I don't know if I saw the Capcom fighting game first. I feel like I might have. But all I really remember is I remember seeing that weird Capcom fighting game. And I want to say that at some point I saw the early scanslations, right? There was a dude named Veggie Hater online. Shoutouts to Veggie Hater.
Shall we turn the stage hazards off, or what do you guys want in the chat?
We can, yeah, We can also, because this has been set up, pick some custom music,
Ooh.
right?
Okay.
And we got some good stuff here.
Oh no, there's Prince songs in the
Yeah.
game. Copyright. His
Yeah,
stand cease and desist.
We're
is
gonna,
come after
yes,
us.
exactly. We're gonna avoid anything that'll get us kicked off of Twitch. However, I definitely think we can play a little bit of. What do we got over here?
I mean,
Great Days.
But I've been loving the Part 5 opening lately.
Okay, you want to go Trader's Requiem on it?
Okay.
All right. Gotta find it first. No. Hold on. I believe we're looking for Uraguri Mono no Requiem. Fighting Gold. Wait. Is this it?
I feel. Yeah. Well,
no,
wait,
that's
no,
the
or
battle
that-
theme. Okay. It was in there. We'll find it eventually. We'll
Okay.
cycle around to it. I think I just selected it.
So I think Raimi is a stage hazard in one of these.
Oh,
So if we're
okay.
playing with stage hazards on, we should do that one next.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. And one thing I like about Josuke too is like there was a theory early on where it's like, is he the person that pushes the car in the past? Is his stand gonna like let him travel back in time and create his own origin?
I love that theory.
Here we go. We got it.
Oh, it's even better with that music. I love it.
Na, na,
Okay, it's been a
na,
long
na.
time since I played this,
Gangstar.
so just
Are you a gangstar?
Oh no.
My range.
Crazy diamonds. Okay.
Yeah, one thing about Josuke in particular that I really dig is the ingenuity of like how he uses Crazy Diamond towards the end. Like,
Balls deep. Sorry.
gotta do it. Gotta do it. I respect it. Getting the blood spatter and sending it back at Kira.
Yeah.
Like from the house with glass, it's like, that is nuts, you know?
Did anyone else feel like the ending was like the biggest troll to Part 4? It's kind of like, you know, you think that, oh, it's going to be this amazing beatdown. It's like, surprise ambulance.
Yeah, totally. Right? It's like, you are not important. You get dusted by a car, you
Okay,
know?
how do I get my stand out? There we go.
There,
There's my
stand
stand. Stone
Oh,
free.
hold on a second. Let's do both of our punches.
Oh.
Quarter circle forward. Oh, no, I missed it.
Okay.
Oh, wait, does he not have it? Oh, there's mine. Okay.
Dora.
Because we
You have
can get the
Dora
clash.
and I have Dora.
There it is.
Yeah,
Match.
okay. Oh!
Nice. Guess I wasn't mad enough.
I like how you kind of do see them get mad.
Yeah. Don't
Oh, and
touch the hair.
they all have the custom hair insults
Yes.
against him. I don't remember how to do that. But.
So taunting is it should be the select button to do our
Oh no.
your back button. And one of the funnest things about Josuke, if I don't spend meter, I want to see if I can get to it. His level 3.
Oh yeah.
He just gets pissed off because you insult his hair, and he just starts walking forward, and you can't possibly stop it. He just
I
armors
remember
up.
that. Yeah, that's
It's
so great.
fantastic. How do you feel about villains?
Like who's my favorite
Who's your
villain?
favorite
or-
villain?
Probably. Well, let me think about it. I mean, of course I like Kira because
Kira's
he's
so good.
he's modeled after David Bowie, and so it's kind of perfect. But I also really like Diablo.
Okay.
And I love. Okay, how did you feel about getting to like see his real like form in the anime? Because I was really excited. I was like, it's moldy pizza hair. Finally.
Yes. Yeah. He's got the little anchovies all up inside his head. Yeah. No, that's fantastic. For me, I've loved everything about Kira as just, he wants a peaceful life. He wants to be left alone. He's the villain that is like he's not the Dio. You know what I mean? He basically is just trying to get away from the situation as much as possible. But the absolute like.
Oh no.
Oh,
Okay, I blocked it.
My absolute favorite though is the goddamn president of the United States
Right?
of America.
And then he turns into Swolentine.
Yes. Funny Valentine. Like, just the idea of this villain. New undies on the first day of the year. Fantastic. The idea of just the villain that is like, all my actions are unclouded. They're all those of justice. The moment he sold me was the picking of the napkin.
Yeah.
To this day, I still use that and explain that to people, where it's just like, if whoever chooses the first napkin in a giant round table is the one who sets the grace and the order of what is common courtesy, you know?
So fun fact, because I used to run JoJo panels a lot at cons, and at one point, like, we set a stack of napkins out on like our panel table, and the idea was that if somebody actually comes up and takes it first, they get a prize, and no one fell for it. But yeah.
Oh, that's great. And the thing too that kind of really sets him over the top for me personally is one of my favorite things about.
Is this the one with Raimi, by the way?
It's either the
Wait,
train station or the Coliseum. Oh no! Wait, sorry. For part 4.
Yeah,
Whoops.
Morio Town, I think, would be hers.
Okay, yeah, let's do it. And we can use her music for something for part 4. There we go.
Yeah. Like, I wish there was a Bowie song on here, because I feel like that would also be fitting. And
there probably is, but we're gonna get kicked off if we use it.
Fair.
Yeah, I go on rants every time I'm talking about Steel Ball Run to people, but just the final showdown, right, with Funny Valentine and Johnny, where they have that talk about the gun, where the gun is involved, right? Where basically he's like,
for a very honest price. That gets me every time. Oh, that's an ugly color for Jolene. I'm sorry. I was
filthy
like,
accent reasonable
it
price.
looks pink. I'm gonna choose that one, thinking it's like her pink hair, and it's like this nasty like eggplant. I don't know.
Just the idea that like Funny Valentine is trying to convince Johnny. He's like, no, I'm a good person. Right? I'm telling you that I fully believe in what I'm doing. I'm not doing this for selfish and evil reasons. I'm doing it because I truly believe in it. And like and Johnny actually gives him a moment, right? He gives him a chance to prove that he really believes in what he's saying.
Yeah.
By he's like, if you're actually telling the truth, then you won't have a weapon on you, right? And me holding this gun should be completely pointless, you know? And then it turns out it's like, nah, dude, you couldn't hold it back. Like, there was a peaceful moment. We could have all... Oh,
nice.
We could have all had a peaceful end to this battle here, but it turns out you're too selfish at the end of the day, you know? I love that so much. Because how often do you ever get a villain and main character, balls deep.
Balls deep. Oh, there's the corpse parts.
Yeah, you gotta collect them. Yeah, how often do you get your main characters like actually having a moment?
No.
Oh, whiffed. Do it.
My stand. There's my
D4C.
stand. Oh yeah.
Oh. Yeah, you still get them having that moment of like dialogue, you know. Usually it's like, I'm selfish or I'm evil and I'm just running my train, or if in Diablo's case, I'm kind of paranoid and crazy. You know what I mean? I'm literally like, I have multiple personalities.
I feel like Araki's villains are really well written and complex, rather than just like, hey, I'm the bad guy, I just want to be evil. Like, there's so many different, like you mentioned with, you know, the whole quiet life thing, and then, you know, just everything about all the different villains, and then how like Poochie is like, I just want to like achieve heaven. And
so that's it. I was gonna say, like, as we get to Poochie, right? You just think about that page of them just being like, Poochie, why are you doing this? What possible reason would you have to just wreck
Dio's
the world?
Bone, and bone is indeed in quotation marks.
And like he's so religiously convicted, you know, and like that empty look he has in his eyes, where he's basically just like, oh there it is, into the mirror world.
I forgot I have to jump to like avoid that. Oh no!
Turn into those weird blocks.
Oh, and that fits perfectly with the music.
With the
way
rewind.
I love that.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's like, he loves Dio so much as a lover then he's like, I'll throw this entire world away to get him back, you know? The idea of like, what was Dio do up to when he was hanging out in Egypt? What was he doing? And it's like, when he wasn't sucking vampire blood from random women.
I thought that was going to go elsewhere. I'm sorry.
Right? Well, no, when he wasn't doing that, he was pretty much hanging out in bed with Bucci. That's what my boy was up to.
I know.
God bless.
People are like, Dio's really straight. And I'm like,
yeah.
Oh.
I think Dio doesn't know what Dio is. But if it's hot, he wants it.
Right. Hey, it's just like me. Let's be real.
There you go. There you go.
I am a real American hero.
Unclouded. Question. So just to let everyone hear that, the question was, which is more powerful, Tusk Act 4 or Requiem, right?
Yeah.
I think absolutely unequivocally at the end of the day, Requiem will always be the thing that's just too broken to cage.
I agree, but a friend of mine once had the most interesting theory, and I never forgot it because it kind of blew my mind. And he's like, what stand would be powerful enough to beat Gold Experience Requiem? And I was like, maybe Made in Heaven, although, you know, there was a lot of, like, theories about that and stuff. And then he was like, nope, try again. It's a stand from Part 7. And I was like, yeah, okay, you got it.
From Part 7.
Yeah, but you didn't hear that answer. So,
didn't.
It's a stand from Part 7, and it's not one of, like, it's not, like, anything to do with Johnny or Gyro or Valentine. It's,
Ringo?
like, a side character. Nope.
I don't know. Who would it be?
It would be Hey Ya. And I was like, and then I thought about it. And it was, okay, you have an argument.
Because I always feel, because we were out having this talk yesterday actually, and the question was, what do you think is just the most powerful OP stand, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was saying Made in Heaven because what can you do?
Right.
If it exists, you lose, right? And then Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap basically was brought in as the counter argument.
Look
wow.
at that Giorno outfit.
And here comes the horse. Yeah, and so the argument was basically with Dirty Deeds, with D4C, let's just say it that way, you can always run away from the problem, right? You can get away no matter what's happening. But with Made in Heaven, you always win. So
Fall off your horse, Johnny.
fuck you, fall off your horse. Yeah.
Tell him yourself.
Yeah, so
oh no, I need my stand.
I need my corpse parts.
Okay, there's my.
Yeah, so I basically feel like those two are on their own, like almost like the strongest defensive stand and the strongest offensive stand. But if we're just talking Tusk, I don't think Tusk has a chance.
Yeah.
You know? Definitely. The rules of Requiem, like Araki's not even fully sure about how they work either.
Although speaking of Requiem's not, gold, but how did you feel about that teaser at the end of the last Part 5 anime episode? That was, I was so excited.
Are you referring to like yesterday? I didn't get to watch it yet because my girl has not yet. We're caught up, so I'm going off of manga.
It's so like it's everything you would hope it would be and more.
Okay.
No.
Lesson 5.
Also, the super makes me like really sad.
Oh, he whiffs it.
Yep.
Oh, guess because when he lands it, right? Arigato.
Yeah. It's the worst. And it's like if you haven't read Part 7, you don't like get how bad that is.
I went into Steel Ball Run with my heart full of Caesar as best Zeppelin, right? I'm like, when it comes to the Zeppelis, there's only one, and his name is Cheesa. And then Gyro comes along, and I'm like, fuck me. This dude rules. I turned on Caesar in a heartbeat. Oh! Savor the taste.
I should have saved. Honestly, with Giorno, I should have saved up my meter, though.
Yeah. Yeah, so you want to get to level 2 to really get the super out there.
I just love like how disgusting that Giorno outfit is in the best way.
It's
I saw
pretty
someone
wild.
cosplay that before.
Oh, yeah?
Like they actually got that fabric and made that.
So he only uses this once, but it's enough to basically establish that, like, he can make you suffer for a really long time. Maybe from here? No.
Fall off your horse!
The other thing about Johnny, too, that's, like, proper JoJo weirdness is the part where your nails are your bullets.
Yeah, right?
It's
it
so
seems like
creepy.
it would be painful.
Like,
Because, I mean, I know, like, I wear acrylic nails, and if I break a nail, it hurts, like, really bad. I'm just like...
Yeah, they really just kind of sandbag the part where your fingernails are a form of torture, and they're getting ripped off of his fingers every time.
I know. Oh, sound.
Yeah.
Weird sound thing.
Yeah, music is kind of not too sure why that's happening. Other weird bits too is like I feel like talking about Steel Ball Run, like when it just comes to like not even stand users or stand powers, but just the initial moment where you're like, these are just racers, right? I have a huge love for anybody who like doesn't use all the tools that everyone else has, right? So like if it's a mecha anime, the guy who's running around on foot,
right?
If it's a weapon fighter, the person who's punching and kicking. And so in the case of Steel Ball Run, it ends up being oh god damn it, he runs on foot.
Sandman?
Sandman,
yeah.
Right? How awesome is that he just completely like keeps up with horse speeds,
I know.
right, on his own. Oh god damn it. It can't be stopped.
It's okay, you stopped it.
I stopped it.
I forgot that I have to like, get somebody incapacitated to the other side of the screen.
Yeah, there's a
and
big
actually use it.
cooldown on it.
Otherwise, like, imagine you just hit him out of it.
Alright. Let's get those nails.
No.
Do it for Jesus.
Oh, who's your JoJo waifu or husbando? That's another good question.
Lisa has got a place in my heart forever. She's so cool. And she's really high up there.
Okay.
But also fucking Foo Fighters, man.
Oh.
Foo Fighters, FF is, I don't want to say best girl, but she's best girl.
You know, one thing I really love about Part 6 is the whole thing with Whitesnake, and it's like, the CDs, and they're like, I need the Foo Fighters disc. And then so someone just photoshopped Dave Grohl on it.
Nice. So yeah, in terms of just like overall favorite stands, right? Do you have a pick of just like stand on its own?
Stand on its own. I usually say Killer Queen. Oh, I'll be like should I be like lime green or like purple?
I say purple.
Okay.
I'm a fan. In the meantime, I'll be talking to babies. I'll be whispering words at babies.
No.
Where's he at? I mean, this is
Villain Showdown.
Oh no, yeah, he's in one character. That's correct. Like,
Yes.
it's absolutely my favorite cease and desist name for a stand is absolutely Filthy Axe at a reasonable price.
Same here. I feel like that's the universal favorite. So what's your second favorite? Because I think mine.
Tell
Yes.
us yours. I'm gonna have to think about it for a second.
I think it's Flaccid Pancake for Limp
Flaccid
Bizkit. I was like, there's no way that's
Pancake.
real until I saw the actual, like, I saw it in the thing, and I was like, no way. Boy Man Man is really funny, too.
Boy Man Man is very, very good. Yeah, oh man, yeah. I kind of, I'm having a hard time remembering, but I feel like Boy Man Man is quite good for Boys to Men.
Worst Company.
Yeah, or just Surface. Yeah. I mean, I can't wait to see what they. I mean, I guess what they're just gonna go with whatever the game did, right? For like in the
Yeah, I
anime.
guess. But then because when All Star Battle came out, Part 8 was like barely out at all, so they couldn't really do much with like Part 8 characters or story. So I'm like, well, they're gonna have a lot of stands that they'll have to deal with.
Also, I got Poochie's bedroom outfit. Right. I want to get shout outs to I'd say
That was so cool in the well, I guess you haven't seen that episode.
I
yet,
saw
but,
I saw
oh,
I
man.
saw tweets of it though.
I know.
Yeah.
I like to stay out. It's funny, even though I've like read the manga and stuff, I kind of like to stay off Twitter when there's a new episode until I see it, just because I'm like I feel like how everything is animated is really like special, and I want to see it myself for the first time and stuff.
Feels like an enemy stand is affecting the audio, unfortunately.
I know. It's King Crimson. Okay, it's fixed now. King
Okay.
Crimson means that you forgot that you heard that.
Fantastic. I was gonna say
Oh no.
so Crush is a really good cease and desist name because like in Japanese it sounds the exact same as Clash.
Yeah.
You know, so the Clash.
Diamond is not Crush. Remember that?
Yeah.
Are you gonna chant to your baby?
I
in
am.
the
I
corner?
thought it was. Is it down?
I don't remember how to do anything in this game. I'll be real. I think it is down.
I thought
but-
it was. Yeah. Let me take a look if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure. I think
'Cause
I
we
want
gotta
to
do
both
some
take a
baby
look.
talk.
Mhm.
Let's see here. No, not skills, throws, style specials. Here we go. 14 words.
Yeah.
Down H.
Pale snake. There we
Pale
go.
snake.
Oh,
Not-
I want to look at mine too.
Yep,
if you don't
go
mind.
ahead.
Just because I haven't.
I think honestly, like, in terms of I don't understand what the fuck is going on for anyone who's watching this. Like, Poochie talking to a baby slowly is the #1 most confusing possible thing. And that entire encounter actually. Oh, we put him away. There he is. Baby.
So, okay,
I got
so
words for you, baby.
I've seen like cosplayers actually make like they paint a baby doll. They get one of those really creepy ones and just do that. And I'm like, why? I mean, it's very creative, but at the same time.
Why would you do it? Yeah, it's such a creepy looking baby too. The
There.
eyes are plants and it's just. Ugh. Feels like it's gonna be pretty hard to get all those words in there. Maybe we
I
can
know.
do it. All right, we got a couple. Get that disc. Yeah. Something
no.
that nobody uses anymore.
I know, right? These young kids are gonna be like, "What's that?"
What am I looking at? A contact disc? A compact
Got
disc,
the
excuse me?
King Crimson disc, and all the songs will be like 20 minutes long.
Just knock an MP3 player out of his head. Oh, my
I
words.
love the phone ringing sound effect in the anime. Like, I know they kind of did it a little bit in this game, but it's just like the anime just killed it with that Emperor Crimson.
Shout outs to King Crimson, the band, actually, for
Yes.
acknowledging the entire thing. I love that.
Oh, so I wanted to talk about King Crimson for a little bit, just based on some of the discourse I saw in the chat before we started. And because remember, for a long time, the translation that we had available for English-speaking fans of Part 5 was just, like, not good, right? And so everyone, that's where the whole, like, it just works meme came from, because
Yes.
people are like, how do we even, this is really confusing. But then seeing it animated, like, in motion and with a good translation, I'm like, oh, it makes perfect sense. Like, Araki's not crazy. Also, happy belated birthday
Oh, really?
to our man, yes.
To our immortal time vampire who never ages. Long may he reign. Oh God, Araki is immortal. He never ever ate. Like those photos of him, just never changing, are the creepiest things ever.
Oh, no.
So he's another one where like taking stands and giving them to other people. That's such a good like
No,
boss
that's
thing to
crazy.
have. Just rearranging it as you see fit, not even needing the arrow for it. There we go.
No.
Hey, baby.
I caught a shiny Cresselia in Pokemon Go, and I named it Sea Moon.
Oh, Shout-outs to Florida.
Everything
Who
weird
thought-
happens in Florida,
who
so it's
thought-
perfect
yeah.
when you think about it.
Who thought a JoJo would have to fight Florida man, you know?
Another thing that I was going to bring up about Part 6 is, like, there's going to be a lot of stuff that has to be crazy censored in the anime, and, like, anything about, like, the Disney stuff, and then, like, Bohemian Rhapsody, like, the whole stand. I feel like, how are they going to do that? And one thought was, like, what if they just have Araki characters, like, have Bao come to life or something?
So
like, okay.
There's also, you know what I noticed too? Like, you know, so there's obviously references in the characters, right? But and the names and the stands. But there's also references in the chapter titles. And that's something that gets lost in the animation, right? I believe, like, the entire Made in Heaven sequence, for example, those last chapters are called Stairway to Heaven.
Yeah.
You know? So, like,
Because wasn't that going to be Made in Heaven's original name?
yes, I think so, and then they eventually ended up not going with it. Okay, here
Oh,
we
that's
go.
cool. I like that.
Okay, do I have enough to do it?
No! No! I will not let you. Oh, no!
Lord in
Oh,
heaven,
no!
give me guidance! Dio! No!
I should have just let you do it because it would have been
It would have been pretty cool.
really cool. Yeah.
I want to do it for Dio. Oh, I tried. You have to let him float away on the picture frame. Oh, man. What a terrifying chapter, too, though. Like, the idea of gravity just turning sideways. And
A phone?
things
Why
are-
is there a phone all the way out here?
Favorite member of the Assassination Squad?
Ooh. Who's yours?
Okay, so just based on stand ability and stand name alone, White Album Gently Weeps is the coolest thing. I love it. I love
Also,
it. Also
I'm-
voiced by Bakugo from
Yeah, I was just gonna say I'm happy that
My
they got
hero.
Gachio's voice like so like annoying, but like in a good way. Like I feel like that and Magenta is like everyone wanted to hear what they were gonna sound like.
let's get some.
I would
Hallmarks.
probably say Malone.
Malone.
I really like his design. I want to cosplay him someday if I ever get in shape.
And the creepiest ability, talking to the unborn like baby in the womb,
Ugh.
communicating with it, like giving it the parents things. Yeah. Oh, you went over cars there, and it just reminds me of like you want to talk about like villains that know they're sexy and like embrace it.
Why is there no Diego in this game? I just want to play my husbando.
You've got a lot of other.
Okay, I'll
you've got a lot of
play-
Diego
I'll play my
alternatives.
roommate.
You got Diego alternatives. The first thing Cars does after becoming the perfect life form is lick his lips.
I know.
as he embraces the sunlight.
My friend is watching JoJo for the first time and sent me a screenshot of that and was like, "What is this?" And I'm like, "Well, it's not called JoJo's Ordinary Adventure."
Right? Speaking of which, let's
so
get some bloody stream.
I'm looking at the chat real quick. We can't see when we're playing. We generally can't see too much of what y'all are saying. But the world or scary monsters, Diego. I'm gonna say scary monsters because if you guys know me, you can kind of see with my shirt. I'm like super obsessed with David Bowie, and so I gotta say scary monsters. I mean, I love them both.
I never answered my favorite stand.
You never did. That's true. We got on a tangent.
Wow, there it is. Bloody stream kicks in. Survivor.
Whole Horse, the straightest man in the game. Oh,
Survivor.
because yes, that was actually a trivia question we asked on our panels. We were like, "What does Dio think like the strongest stand is?"
No, the weakest stand.
or,
Dio
or like the
thinks-
weakest stand, but like it's scary. You know. what I mean?
So Dio, that's the funny thing about Survivor is for no reason, Dio's like, yeah, this stand is worthless, and he considers it to be awful. It is my favorite stand of all time, bar none. And quite simply, it's like, it's the stand that affects everyone in a given area. It looks very cool on the ground. Eye of the Tiger is a great song. But it makes you aggressive. It makes you into a fighter. And then you can see everyone's limbs as they heat up, where their strengths and weaknesses are. So I'm like, so what you're basically telling me, Araki, is that you turned the world into a fighting game. This stand just turns life into a fighting game.
Why did he hit so many rats with his Aerosmith?
Why?
Because he didn't want to miss a thing.
Wow. All right. Yeah.
There's this place, when I was in the airport on the way over here, there's a place called Vino Volo. It was like a bar in the airport, and I was like, this sounds like, you know, something out of Part 5. I'm just going to be real. Okay, I do have like a Aerosmith anti-air.
Oh, he's too short for the bullet.
Oh.
That's hilarious. Oh my god.
Small boy.
Hall horse. It just goes right over his head.
Another thing I like that my friend tweeted when Part 5 was getting animated was like, can't wait for all the people who think Narancia is ooh-woo cinnamon roll boy to realize he's a trash gremlin.
Oh my god, absolutely. Absolutely. Street trash, man. I love like how aware they are of like the part too, and like to make little things that are so memeable, like the dance. I've been waiting for the dance for so long.
Oh, the dance was so good.
And then they put all this money into it and made it incredible.
They're like, we're gonna make this even like vlogger and better.
Yeah, and then the beatdown scene, right? Sip your wine.
7-page Muda. And there was just like, because like everyone was posting GIFs of the dance from All-Star Battle because they're like, this is the closest we're gonna get to getting it animated until it happens for real. So I think they know like we have to make this really good.
I like how like you could just like take the Passione squad and like insert games or brands or whatever you need to as like two things beating down on one. And then the classier ones sipping the wine and then joining eventually. It's fantastic. Part 5 has been great for memes. I'll say that.
Also, I love how in Eyes of Heaven they can drink like coffee. They can take like a little coffee break, but then Dio's got the brandy. Like the Jolene drinking coffee. I'm like, I have never found anything that radiates more me energy ever.
Yeah, nice. Whole Horse needs a partner. Whole Horse with Hanged Man versus Whole Horse with Oingo Boingo.
Oh. I think Whole Horse Boingo is just a great duo, honestly.
Okay. Whole Horse Boingo versus Mista. The correct answer is Mista shoots himself.
Oh.
We all know this.
Well, or even better, like he has to take a break in the middle of the battle to feed the Sex
To feed the
Pistols.
yeah, exactly. Just go grab some salami slices.
Everyone breaks for lunch in this country. No, I don't want it. No, I did eat it.
I feel like Whole Horse has like he has such a good stand, but his confidence means that he can't actually capitalize on it properly. Because controlling bullets is fantastic. It's like, in both cases, they're incredible, although his bullets are slower than a normal bullet, whereas, like, Mista, it's a real bullet.
Well, like, speaking of that, like, I hear a lot of people who are big Okuyasu fans saying that,
love
like,
the hand.
Yeah, they're like, it's so powerful, but because Okuyasu's, like, kind of dumb and even admits that, it's not, like, as powerful as you would think.
Exactly, and he's also, like, nervous about where he's sending people, whereas if he didn't have a conscience whatsoever, it would be unbelievable, right? It's almost like, yeah, like Voice to Man, like RPS Kid, right? Like,
oh, he was so annoying. I'm sorry.
But like the ability to take someone else's stand by forcing them into a Janken Pawn match is incredible.
I was gonna say like one with like a, how cool would it be if you have like a video game type of thing? But I'm like, oh well, you had Terrence T. Darby, so
right, yes,
years ahead of me on that one.
Opens the game. Also, there's a JoJo battle royale now, right?
Oh, yeah.
And it's called The Last Survivor. And I want to tell you about the criminal fact that it's not called The Last Stand. Isn't that awful?
That would be, yeah.
It's, like, just what a wasted opportunity. Okay. I feel like we haven't talked at all about Phantom Blood.
Yeah, I feel like Phantom Blood gets you know, a lot of, I don't want to say hate, but like, people are just like, oh, well, get into JoJo, but Phantom Blood is bad, but like...
It's not bad.
Yeah.
It was him learning the ropes, you know? I mean, he did bow as well, but like...
I feel like it was almost like his Fist of the North Star, like, OC fanfic.
It was. It really was. Fist of the North Star plus vampires and, you know... But it has... Like, Phantom Blood definitely has its moments. I mean, I think establishing Dio as this asshole that jumps out of the carriage like this and lands and like, oh, it zooms in on his face and you're like, what a shitty little kid. Like, that was Joffrey before Joffrey. You know what I mean?
I know so many people who said, oh, I'm just going to skip to part 3 and I'm going to watch part 3. And I'm like, well, if you watch part 3, like, you won't have any understanding of why exactly Dio is so bad or why, like, you know, him taking Jonathan's body is a big deal or why, like, you know, because you'll hear, like, Joseph talk about his grandfather and you'll be like, why is that a thing? Like, I feel like skipping parts, it's like, even the people who are like, oh, I want to skip to part 5 because it's standalone, I feel like, but then you're still missing a lot of content. And then Polnareff, imagine if you didn't like read or watch part 3 and then Polnareff, you're going to be like, why is this
Bowie versus Bowie, here we go. But no, I feel like the problem with that, of course, is just that you don't have any of that context. There's some people that kind of don't care. You know, they're just like, I just want to see stand battles. And I get that.
Look at that outfit, ew.
But yeah, I feel like you're missing out on a lot. You're missing out on the journey, and you know, if you're not, I don't want to say if you're not patient enough, but like if you kind of just want to rush it along, like there's maybe shorter things you can watch, you know. But I really do feel like JoJo is a long commitment. It requires a lot of your time, but like it's a really great journey.
Yeah, it's an investment.
And if you jump around, you're really gonna get a weird sense of like progression. You're getting a weird sense of like what the characters are doing and why, you know. And references and callbacks, especially, are gonna become really confusing.
Space Ripper,
Stinging Eye Laser, yeah. Okay, Eyes of Heaven had the team ups, and like the greatest team up in that game is Dio plus Dio. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but it's basically it's Dio Brando combined with Dio, and he's absolutely awesome. They're awesome because basically they team up on you. Dio freezes you. Dio stops time, and then they jump back and like he does the laser, and future Dio. No Sadame.
JoJo. Oh, it started, Matt. I'm sorry for the diversion. I just feel like we have to.
It's not the end of the song version where he holds that note for an extra like 30 seconds. But yeah, he does the laser, and then future Dio dodges his head out of the way because they're the same person, so they know what to do.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Okay. Also, when I remember Dio back in the past, like Dio in the future has calmed down so much, right? He's a philosopher, and like he's kind of just trying to figure out what the new crazy thing is about the times, right? But like old Dio was like vampirizing villages and making mothers eat their babies and sewing dudes' heads onto dogs for the hell of it. Like he was a little shit.
Oh no!
Oh
no! I refuse.
Kotowaru.
Daga Kotowaru.
Oh, Rohan, who's totally not Araki, by the way.
I know.
Right?
He drew all that fan art and stuff, and he's like, but it's really not me. It's not a self-insert.
He drew himself embracing
I know.
him. And he's like, nope, not me. Not my favorite character. Oh!
Also, I love how all the villains are like, my stand has no weaknesses, and then they, just get destroyed by the protagonist. Yeah, see? Look at that Bowie face. He just looks so Bowie. Great! Did you hear his death cry? It's so great.
Hell yeah. And the promise of the first intro, right? Sonochi no Sadame shows you all the parts, right? What I heard is the reason why Sonochi no Sadame starts on all the panels of every part is to show you that David Production is making a promise to animate all of it.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
Also, I heard that the art director, I believe it was, for David Productions, was saying that like Part 5 was like his
favorite.
dream. Yeah.
And he was actually doing art in the middle of Part 4, getting ready for 5.
Yep, I saw that. Oh no.
Ninjaku.
There's like a Dio soundboard or something.
He's calling people monkeys.
Yep. Okay, yeah, that was brutal.
Oh, special finish. Oh.
It was really good timing with the music.
Joe! Yeah.
So how long is Part 7 gonna be?
Oh my God.
Like when it's animated, I feel like it's gonna be so
100 episodes. Also, how are they going to animate? Is it Enigma? Like the newspaper head guy.
I'm trying to think.
I thought it was Enigma, but I'm not sure. I think
No,
I'm getting that
Enigma's
wrong.
Part 4, I
That's Part
believe.
4.
Yeah.
The guy whose head is made of newspapers. How do you animate that?
Yeah.
Do you just do that thing where when
They're
someone
gonna tell us in the chat because we're gonna.
when someone wears plaid on like Fairly Odd Parents or something, and you kind of see like it never moves. It's just like it's its own layer. Like I wonder if we're gonna get that.
People are saying just CGI, but
I guess. We haven't been seeing chat questions, actually.
I know. I'm kind of like looking.
We need to pay attention, yeah.
I did see one asking about unpopular JoJo opinions, and I think that's a good question if we can think of some.
Went dark there.
Yeah.
Unpopular opinions. Okay, I can throw out unpopular opinions, but I don't know how unpopular it's in the sense that it's like, Part 5 is the biggest part in Japan. It's my least favorite part.
We gotta do
But
Giorno Bruno.
all of it's so good that it's like saying that it's my least favorite part is still like a really high bar because all of JoJo is so high.
Right. Like, I think what people don't realize, too, is that having a least favorite part, if you will, doesn't mean that, like, it's bad. It's just that everything is so good. Okay, they were saying tattoo you. Yeah, I forgot that.
Unpopular opinion. Jotaro is kind of boring compared to the other JoJos a little bit. He has a one note to him, and then it changes up a little bit, and then you're like, oh, maybe he'll be a good dad.
Expecting JoJos to be good
dads.
dads.
Oh, no, that didn't happen. I mean, at least he didn't go full-on Joseph scumbag, right?
Yeah, I feel like later Jotaro is actually pretty...
the stare down is pretty great there.
And then one thing that I really liked about Jotaro in Part 6 is when he, like, reveals, like, well, this is why I was gone all the time and stuff.
Right.
It wasn't because I was, like, you know, trying to neglect you necessarily. I just didn't want to get you involved in this, like, all this stuff. I was like, that's actually really touching.
Right.
And Johnny with his dad, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the idea of, like, the hero needing to, like, do something noble so that they can't be a good parent. I understand that. It's a really good excuse. But quite frankly, it's an excuse because it's like, they would be a terrible parent if they hung around anyway.
Yeah.
So I love all those little manga that, like, imply that, like, Josuke is the one taking care of baby Jolene.
Uh-huh.
You know?
I think it's so cute. I actually did a comic dub of that years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Is that a starfish?
I saw one just yesterday, actually, where baby Jolene has, like, little fairy wings on.
Aww.
And she's like, I wonder if I can fly if I try hard enough. And Jotaro's ignoring her.
Aww.
But then he's using Star Platinum to lift her up. And she's like, Daddy, I'm flying! Daddy, I'm flying! Look! And he's like, that's nice, sweetie.
So cute.
Yeah.
Daddy, I'm flying!
No.
This one is Giorno's counter. I can't remember.
Sure. And I need to get the Oruka because
Yeah.
it's the most stylish thing, man.
So I saw a great thing when, like, what was it? The first ending song for Part 5, Freakin' You.
Yeah,
the comments. Yeah, somebody was like, can't wait for the comments section to be filled with adi 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 or some shit. And then it was like, well.
Hell yeah. And I never would have expected Casey and JoJo. That's wild. Oh, Arrow! Oh no! Oh no, I'm too far away.
I remembered
and I'm
how to
confused.
do it.
Oh! Broken Requiem. Now
Muda,
what?
muda, 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 muda. That's like what you do when you're in this mode.
Yeah.
You just Muda all day long. Oh no.
Ooh, the most stylish thing. And he comes out the bottom. It's the stand that's talking. He's not even
I
talking.
know.
Arrivederci.
I'm sure you've seen like the really common memes about that online.
Everyone gets their own ora talk. He gets arrivederci.
So I think somebody asked earlier in the chat what our own stand cries would be.
Oh, I think mine is pretty. Ooh, there it goes. I think mine is kind of set as I have a bit of a trademark phrase in the form of
Yeah.
yeah. Get hype.
That's great. You say get hype, then as you like smack them into the ground.
Right? What would yours be?
I don't know. I almost feel like I would have auras because like it would just make sense for me, but at the same time, I don't know if anyone can think of a great stand cry for me.
I know you have a stand name.
I do.
What's that?
So my stand is called Insomniac, which if you guys can get the music reference, drop a note in the chat. And it has the power to turn any liquid substance into caffeine. So what I said earlier, about how like even seemingly weak stands, a lot of people are like, well, that's a lame stand. Like it's just so you can drink more coffee. And I was like, okay, but think about it this way: you can turn your opponent's blood into coffee. You can turn molecules in the air into coffee. Like you can do a lot of stuff with it.
There you go. So for the longest while, mine was Rage Against the Machine.
Ooh,
That's a name
perfect.
that never got used, and I loved it, right? But I feel like evidence and reality have decided to take that away from me because what's been happening is recently, specifically this year, a lot of characters and like fiction and things have been coming out that are all what we call Woolie bait. Right? So character designs are just like, that was made to appeal to Woolie. And
Wooloo.
Yeah, Wooloo, right? Darlie Dagger, this new character from Samurai Showdown. A bunch of amazing stuff. Everything's been turning up Woolie, right? So everyone's basically saying, dude, your stand is not Rage Against the Machine, right? It's a stand ability that brings everything you like slowly to life in the background. And the stand name is Bring Me to Life. Wake me up inside.
somebody got the reference. Where did they go? Antithesis EK got what the Insomniac was. So yay.
Okay. Let's get Okuyasu up there.
Oh, okay. Well, then I have to be Josuke because
We haven't seen, actually, we haven't seen Little Boy. Where's the little boy with his awkward pose? Where's he at? Where's he at? Is he? Wait, what row is he on, actually? There he is. Koichi.
Yeah, he was
Koichi's-
hiding right in the middle.
He's right down there. Okay, let's get some Koichi going. Make sure to stand like this as you wait for your stand to appear.
In regards to which one was it? It was Green Day, the Green Day album. Aw, sorry to disappoint.
You got a question?
Oh,
Favorite out of context manga panel?
Rice Pirate had a great thread on this, and we were all dropping that. It was like, give me out of context stuff for people who don't know JoJo.
It's got to be the lick.
Yeah.
It's got to be the lick. This is the taste of a liar.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's way up there.
I also like it was like Limp Bizkit emerged from the darkness or whatever. How do we get electricity inside a turtle? How do we find an invisible baby underwater? Like there's so many great things for like people who don't know JoJo.
Oh, casual Koichi.
Look at us in our casual clothes. I like that color scheme for Crazy Diamond.
Yeah, it's quite nice actually. I feel like we're matching.
Mm-hmm. And you got your little DBZ stand there.
I want to give a shout out to Mother's Basement because, he's an anime YouTuber that basically did these OP analysis videos that really got me to appreciate how amazing these intros are. Right? I didn't quite realize just how much was like going on as far as like subtext in all of these intros. until like he pointed them out. And End of the World is full of them. There's so many interesting hidden things in every little frame to just imply, oh yeah, he heals you just to beat you all the way back down.
Yeah, so great.
Yeah. There's so much amazing hidden stuff in the JoJo intros that like is on another level compared to a lot of anime out there that kind of just does typical character shots, heroes running left to right, maybe like a princess tear blowing in the wind.
My friend pointed out Rolling Stone in the intro.
Yes, in the outro as well.
Yeah.
It's the first thing you see. In the Enigma song outro, the new outro, is the Rolling Stone at the bottom. Means you can't escape destiny, right? Fate is locked.
There's quite a few Rolling Stones references in the different parts of JoJo now that I think about it, because there's one in part 6, there's, what else am I
was gonna say
Sticky Fingers, obviously.
In the case of End of the World, right, the beginning has like the timer, like it has the clocks moving, and the gears of time are kind of like constraining all the different JoJos, but Dio is moving out of the gears of time, implying that
So great.
he is not controlled by it anymore. You know, you have the clock ticking left and right, and the shadows of the different stands they're going to face in Egypt appear. And one of the coolest ones that we came up with was while we were trying to figure out, Chase, right? In the middle of Chase, there's this part where you see like the characters from above, and it's unclear exactly what's going on, you know? And like we kind of stared at it for a while and tried to analyze what's going on, and you see like the rats, the sniper rats, kind of running along and eating a bunch of food and garbage and whatnot. It turns out that what that viewpoint is since Chase is about Shigechi, right? That part is basically Shigechi, after he dies, is looking down from heaven, and there's a barrier in the way that stops him from actually reaching Okuyasu and Josuke. And when they, at the end of that shot, they end up underneath a present box, which is like the gift of friendship, basically. You know, and then there's cracks in the glass because Kira killing him basically stopped them from achieving like their friendship before he died, you know?
Sad.
It's really sad, yeah.
Like, I felt like we got spoiled in part 4 without like a ton of character deaths, but it's like, okay, like when he first appeared in the manga, I was like, okay, he's like really annoying or whatever, but then I felt bad, like everybody feels bad.
Yeah, but part 4 does have deaths though, and I think that like, and the fact that it all comes back to them is my favorite thing about those intros, because the end of Crazy Noisy Bizarre Town, hey, check out this wild, funny place. There's a lot of cool, crazy things going on. I don't know what's going on, but we're going to point at the sky for some reason. Why? Who knows? Because it's disco, right? The first thing they do in the intros, they just point up in a disco stand, and it's like, yeah, we're having fun. But maybe they're pointing at something, you know? And then again, we go back to that idea with what I just mentioned with like, you're seeing the sky viewpoint of them in Chase. And then when Great Days comes around, right, we see the point one more time, but it actually switches perspective so that you see it's all the dead, right? It's his grandfather up there as well. It's Shigechi, it's Reimi, it's Reimu, it's everyone, you know? And basically it's like, what were we pointing at? We were pointing at the dead, and we're fighting for justice, you know? Like, that was such a fantastic moment. And then once everyone gets together at the end, the final shot of Great Days is the whole cast doing the point, you know?
I did, because I cosplayed Reimi for ALA, and then I did a group shot with my friends for our photo shoot where we're all doing the Great Days pose. Ooh.
Favorite JoJo OP is what the chat is asking.
I think Great Days was really classic, honestly.
Great Days is going to be extremely hard to beat. I mean, they're all very cool, right? Like, I really, like, Sonochi no Sadame just fills my soul with, like, you know, like I feel it deep down. But Great Days just brings about, like, tranquility. I just love it so much. Yeah, I'm gonna absolutely agree with you on that. I feel like we're not gonna beat Great Days. Say again?
Made in Heaven.
Most terrifying JoJo, to repeat for the chat.
Yeah.
Most terrifying JoJo villain / stand. Made in Heaven is, yeah, if it exists, you lose.
Yeah.
Straight up. And we're not going to talk about over heaven and the eyes of heaven stuff, because
Yeah.
that's not exactly real. But yeah, if Made in Heaven exists, that's it. It's over. Unless you are, God, my memory sucks, so I'm terrible with names, unfortunately.
Oh,
but
me too.
Unless
It's okay.
you're artist. Rohan, unless you're Rohan, in which case you can keep up with your deadlines, even when the world
I
is
know. I
fast
thought that
forwarding.
was so funny.
Right? He's the only person that manages to keep up. It's fantastic.
Ooh. Okay, I got it handed to me.
Yeah. I would say, like, outside of that, I mentioned it earlier, but honestly, True Man's World, right? Ringo Road again. Like the ability to just rewind 7 seconds is really rough too, in a non-OP boss way, you know? Just as far as a normal stand goes.
Oh,
That's a huge
ow,
challenge.
Wow.
And it's not exactly an enemy stand, but Mountain Tim and the rope are awesome.
Yes.
Like, that would be really hard to deal with as well, I feel.
I also really like to catch the rainbow in part 7.
Remind me?
Blackmore with like the water drops.
Yeah, okay,
that was
okay,
so cool.
okay. Right. So powerful that he had to get kicked out of the group. He had to get written out of the story.
Yep. Who got on the boat?
Yeah. I mean, I heard, so he has his own book though, right? On
Yeah,
Poison
Purple
Book.
Haze feedback.
Right, and like, that's basically like explaining a bit more about him and stuff, and I heard,
Yeah.
I heard it's interesting.
Because I think like they realize, okay, people want more Fugo.
What do you think about the other book things though? Like 36 Cars on Mars?
Yes, George Joestar. That's like
Yeah.
a common meme thing we bring up. I guess there is like a proper translation of George Joestar now, and I'm very curious.
Oh, right, okay.
But that is like a joke question we ask for trivia in the panels: is how many cars on Mars?
Gotta actually get my hands on the JoJoniums too. Like, those JoJonium
Yeah.
collection books are beautiful.
I have JoJo Veller.
JoJo Velier.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the art book, what's the maybe it's like 6429 or whatever the number is. It's just a JoJo art book that came out as well.
Oh, favorite non-stand user. I gotta say Raimi. That's an easy one for
That's
me.
a pretty clear pick, yeah. Non-stand user? That's a question, isn't it? I said it before, and I'll say it again. I really like Lisa. But is it fair to pick people from before stands existed?
I
Because
don't know.
they're
I
not stand
feel
users?
like I feel like
Is it kinda
Hamon
cheating?
is
Yeah.
like cheating a little bit.
Okay, if Hamon is cheating. Non-stand users, huh?
Then I'll be Polnareff.
I mean, Tonio is a stand user, but he hangs around in the background being cool. He doesn't do much.
Yeah.
Josuke's
Well,
mom is
Wait, no,
pretty
Pearl
rad.
Jam though.
I know. That's why
Yeah.
I said, like, yeah. He totally counts. Josuke's mom is pretty rad.
Josuke's mom has got it going on.
Yeah. I absolutely dig Josuke's mom. Smacking a dude into his own window and just being like, fuck you. To like basically just telling fuckboys to, you know, stay out of her space. I dig it. Holly's a stand user. Holly counts. Yeah.
I love Mikitaka, but he had Earth, Wind, and Fire, so.
Oh. What's your final verdict on Mikitaka? What do you think? Is he an alien? Is it real? Is it fake?
I want to believe that he is an alien, but it's possible he's just a very, very eccentric guy who like fully believes in his own heart.
I feel like the fact that they don't tell us leads me to think that he really is in fact an alien. Also, shout outs to Araki for getting his own stand names, because Earth, Wind, and Fire gets used again
Yep.
in Part 6. You know.
Which stand was it going to be for again? I can't remember. off the top of my head.
Planet Waves.
Oh, yeah.
Hold on a second. In this fight, can't I throw a dagger at you?
Maybe.
I feel like there's a cutscene if I take you out where I toss the dagger on the ground. You
Okay,
know?
maybe.
Well, we'll see anyway. Somewhere within this town. Oh, Silver Chariot.
Flaming chicken. It's like a Blaziken.
Town. Oh my God, it is a Blaziken.
I named one of my Blazikens Magician's Red.
I was about to say you ruined it, but you actually just made it better. Holy shit. Wow.
Oh, I forgot
Yes,
they
I
censored
am.
Polnareff's name in All-Star Battle. Did y'all notice
Yeah,
that?
I fell. Yeah. Of
And it
course.
stands Silver Baguette.
Yeah. It's like certain names are just too risky.
I just guess I got sloppy. That's so funny to me, and I don't know why.
Do you have a theory as to what the deal is with Araki and the puppy test? Why does the man hate animals so much, Kira?
Well,
What's
I
the
feel
deal?
like he must have had a bad experience with a dog when he was young. I mean, he tries to say oh, I don't have anything against dogs. It's just I'm facing my fears or whatever. There's something
Right.
like that. But I mean, I feel like there was one dog in the series that didn't meet a horrible fate. Do you remember which one? Here's a trivia question for the chat too.
the
I guess.
only
when we
dog
see
that
it
didn't meet
again.
a horrible fate. Can you give me a part?
4. It's the only dog I can think of off the top of my head that didn't meet a horrible fate.
I don't know.
Obviously not Arnold, right? But
Yeah. Danny gets it. They all get it, you know?
Iggy broke my heart. I was
Iggy
but
gets
Iggy's
it
a
hard.
valued member of the team. There's no way.
Oh. There it is.
Yeah.
I love that shot so much. Oh. Yeah. No, you're going to have to tell me which dog got it.
I'm gonna look in the chat and see if anyone got it. Oh yeah, dog in part 2. I guess I didn't think about that. But that's not what I was referring to. Let me.
I mean, I dare I say that the bird that appears in that girl's mouth in part 2 was not okay. You know?
Right.
Animals just get it, man. They just get it hard. It's
Oh,
mean.
I can't see it on the thing.
Poor Gyro.
Yes, okay, people got it. I feel like police was mostly in there just so that he's well, I gotta make a police reference somehow, so we'll just show this dog to point out that he is named Police. Oh yeah, and also the one where there's a guy walking his dog, and I just remember that from the Doing version too, where he's you can really poop or whatever.
Yeah, but the dog gets it there. Angelo fucks that dog up.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, I really feel like it is just.
Speaking of which, I think Angelo gets it harder than anybody because Cars was the original, that's too much, that's overkill, right? Literally floating
Are we
away.
gonna be Pillar Men?
We'll do it. I'm down. Don't cry.
I feel like
I feel like originally I would say that Cars used to get it the worst because he floated away until he stopped thinking, right? Brutal. But Angelo stays forever, and we never get the confirmation that he stops thinking.
and people sit on him and take pictures and
Right?
you know.
In part 7 when they reference it as well, he stops thinking too, right? But we really never get a confirmation that Angelo gets
Yeah.
peace.
They're just
He
here's how to get
suffers
to the rock.
inside of a rock forever, and that's brutal. That's probably the hardest a villain gets it, in my opinion.
People were saying "Yo Angelo" in the chat, so we got to keep it going now. Yo Angelo. Yeah. Eventually he'll erode.
I believe in this stage too.
Look at that shot. With
Yeah. In this shot,
Vic.
I believe that the stage actually they go wamu, wamu, wamu when you start triggering the hazards.
I laughed so hard when I was first watching part 2, and it was AC/DC sama.
Yeah. And there's all these little weird things about them where it's hey, don't stand in my shadow, right? It's that never went anywhere, There's no details. Oh, check out the background, by the way.
Oh,
Right?
yeah, there's your
Cars
girl.
and Lisa hanging out. Like the whole shadow thing just never became anything special, you know.
Look at this. Look how fit.
Shout out to the theme of the Pillar Man.
Yes.
Right?
The Aztec gods of fitness. Although, speaking of fit, I heard you got to go to a boxing gym when you first got here.
I did, and Hunter is a boxer, so we definitely did a little bit of sparring, and I got my butt handed to me. It was a good time. The man knows what he's doing.
See, I knew I'd get my butt handed to me in this because I played so many sets of Guilty Gear with you yesterday.
It's a good time. Good time. We're for the fighting games. Fighting games are a joy.
What's your favorite fighting game, would you say?
My favorite fighting game is Third Strike.
Oh, somebody wanted to challenge me in that today. I'm kind of excited.
It's just so gorgeous. It's really fun. AC/DC is such a weirdo. Like, for all the flack they give, for all the flack they give Santana, because he's like a dumb baby, right? I feel like Santana was less weird and more cool than AC/DC is, you know? I feel like Santana gets shit
Poor
on way too
Santana.
hard.
He really
yeah.
does.
San Viento. You know, shout outs to Araki for making Nazis the heroes. We literally rock a Heil Hitler, and you're like, oh, that's a protagonist, by the way.
German science is the greatest in the world.
Whoa.
Oh, I hate it when the music cuts out at like a really good moment. Ooh.
Yeah. I have a big, like, another trope that I love, too, is when the second in command is honorable and noble, like a Sagat kind of character, and then you get to Cars, and Cars is like, fuck that shit.
Yeah.
I played dirty. What did you think this was?
Yeah, see, look at this. Forgive my rudeness and stuff. And,
Yeah.
like, the whole thing with Caesar, like, as sad and depressing as the whole battle with Caesar was, I was like, but you can't, like, hate him, you know?
Have you ever gotten a chance to play 7th Stand User, by the way? Are you familiar? It's a JoJo fan game. I've been playing it on my channel on WoolieVersus, and it gets pretty hard at times, but ultimately, it's a really cool fan game someone made that plays almost like Dragon Quest or Pokemon.
Oh.
Except it's a JoJo game, and it has so much fan service in it.
Nice.
And I think you'd really enjoy it if you ever gave it a shot.
I used to play a lot of Stardust Shooters, which was a mobile game.
Okay.
And it was like a gacha game type of thing. You could only get it on like the Japanese iTunes store, but there were just some enemies who were so annoying in it. And I remember logins in particular was really annoying for some reason.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Something you might enjoy about 7th Stand User is that it begins with basically a question, a personality test, and the personality test determines your stand.
Oh.
So there's a set number of stands, and then you kind of get one handed to you after that. Of which I wasn't too satisfied with my answers, so I may have gone back and done the test again. But that's neither here nor there.
I know, I'll do that too. If it's like a personality quiz thing and I get something I don't want, I'll be like, let me do it again and edit that a little.
There you go, exactly. Yeah, okay, so I guess we're closing it out here. I mean, I don't know if you've got any last minute thoughts. How about this? Like, JoJo Leon so far.
Oh.
It's been 9 years of this, right? It's been the longest for a part just coming out, and there's still no established real villain, from what I understand.
So
It's
we
kind
were
of-
talking earlier about theories, and I was like, I like that theory a lot, and I was really excited.
There's a whole, like I'm getting a lot of feedback from people that they're kind of just like, we don't know what this part is.
Yeah,
It's-
it's really like all over the place in a good way.
Okay.
But I'm like, okay, and then I don't know if there's like a brand new chapter out, but you know, the last one I read is like they were pursuing the doctor, and I was just like, okay, so what's this gonna turn into, this
Okay.
whole thing?
I know that, like, the fact that it elaborates more on the idea of stands without users is super weird and interesting, because, like, at first you had, like, Anubis. It's like a sword with no user, right? And then you kind of get well, Notorious B.I.G. Not Notorious B.I.G. Yeah, Notorious B.I.G. He dies and then becomes a userless stand. But then, like, the idea of, like, is it that, what's the street name?
Shakedown Road.
Shakedown Road.
Yeah.
Like, literally, this entire road is a what? You know?
Everything can be a stand in JoJo. It
Yeah.
can be a boat. It can be a turtle. It can be a rat.
With the right attitude. And, of course, the ultimate stand user, Jesus Christ himself. Right? Joseph bin... Jacob bin Joseph, a.k.a. JoJo. Jesus Christ. That's... What a wild thing to do with this reset of a world, you know. I was so depressed after part 6. I was so sad, even though we got to an alternate reality where everything was kind of in place but a little different. I was really sad that everyone we knew from every other part was gone.
I know.
And
I wanted Giorno to show up in part 6. I
right?
wanted it
During
so
all
bad.
the
especially because they're like, oh, they're gathering all
the
of
dumb
Dio's
sons. Yeah.
and I was just like,
yeah.
ugh.
But and we didn't get that, right? And so when 7 starts off and you're like, what's this horse racing? I guess it's kind of cool. Oh, this is awesome. Oh my god, there's stands. Oh my god, this villain is the best villain there ever was. And then when we're done with that, we're celebrating JoJo left and right. And what's the last thing you have to celebrate? Here comes fucking Dio with the world this time. And the end of the race.
I screamed when I first, because that was one of the few part 7 things that wasn't spoiled for me
Yeah.
while I was still reading it. So when I saw it, I was just like, I was just like, no way.
I was reading it on my Wii U game tablet in my bed, and I threw it.
I threw
the
mine
Wii
too.
like,
I threw the water
like
doll.
fuck you, Dio's back, and he's riding a horse. You know, God damn it, Steel Ball Run is so good, you guys. I love part 7 so much.
And then he died of a cold. That was like the most like ugh thing ever in part 7. About the little boy.
Yeah, the little boy. Yeah, that's super mean. But yeah, the fact that Steel Ball Run was a celebration of all the parts prior, and I had that melancholy from 6 going into it, it's such a perfect turnaround. And it makes me just love it all so much more. So that's why Steel Ball Run is my favorite part. It's just because it celebrates all of that, and it's the perfect, like, it's like at the end of a funeral, you go out for a beer, and you talk about the memories you had of the person that you just lost.
I
and
love,
it felt like that.
Yeah, some of the ridiculous interactions, like the fall off your horse bit, and then the Diego, like, eating rocks, and, like, you know, half the reason Diego's my husbando is when he's like, I need the coffee.
And oh my god, what's her name? From part 7, what's her name with the skin stand?
Skin.
Hot Pants!
Yeah,
Hot
yeah.
Pants! Hot Pants is great!
Yeah.
Hot Pants is super cool. So, yeah, I just wanted to end on, like, my favorite gushing thing with that is just, like, goddamn Steel Ball Run. You know, if anything, the reason, like, read the manga to catch up to that, you guys, for sure.
I kind of want to voice
think we're out of
Lucy
time.
when that happens, but, well, I mean, we could probably do one more, right?
Okay. Oh, yeah, and please, everyone, if you can just, like, I was going to say lend your energy, but actually just tweet and let people know that we need Jolene voiced proper when the time comes. Okay? Jolene is sitting right here. You don't have to go looking. It's not very hard.
Since people always ask me to do it, yada yada dawa.
Come on, right? And also, when you're getting to the intro, get Shoko Nakagawa, please.
Yes.
She crushed that Sonochino Sadame cover.
She broke her tailbone doing a Narancha pose, just saying.
Wow. How about that? Questions?
Alrighty, so Woolie, do you think Urian and Gil based off the Pillar Man?
Were Urian and Gil based off the Pillar Man? I didn't know that. I never heard that.
I didn't think about that. I
don't-
felt like Nikali in 5 was very Pillar Man.
Yeah, definitely. He's got more of the Incan sort of, like, you know, South American god kind of thing going. I don't really feel so. I feel like their giant Adonis bodies are kind of just more of a, like, we want to show you big tough guys, but they're Egyptian kind of thing. I don't really feel like they're showing off the Pillarman stuff exactly. Yeah, I mean, it definitely could have been the case, and we know that Duo and Troa are in Third Strike as well. Polnareff, as was Benimaru from King of Fighters. The JoJo influence.
That guy was based off Stroheim.
Wait, you are super right. Yes.
But like Benimaru, apparently the dev team even called him Polnareff, from what I heard.
Yes, exposed, totally. Based on Guile is Stroheim, Benimaru is Polnareff.
And Rose is Lisa Lisa.
Yes. Next question.
Oh.
That's so messed up.
Okay,
I don't think I ever
so-
saw those two fight.
So he just said that if you have Josuke fight Johnny and he hits him with the level 3, Josuke heals Johnny and he stands up and then he beats him down again and he goes back to being crippled.
So messed
Wow.
up.
I know that there's little fun things like that. I know that in Eyes of Heaven, if you team up Jonathan with other stand users, other JoJos, he's kind of just like, whoa, what's this magic? What is
Aw.
happening? And his win quotes are all just like, I can't believe it. This is crazy. Last question over here. Oh, you are. That is a good question. All right. So the question is, take something from the JoJo Part 3 OVAs, right? The Satoshi Kon ones, and exchange it with the modern Part 3. I 100%, absolutely bar none, give it to the way the world's powers are displayed.
Yeah.
Because Satoshi Kon is a master of like timing and perspective and animation. And when they show you the world being used outside of Dio's point of view, there's moments like when he takes the taxi driver and pulls him into the car, he runs out, goes through a crowd, and runs back into the same car. And he keeps doing it, and he doesn't understand what's happening or why, and it's animation that's showing you that, right?
Yeah.
Or when he's walking down the street, and you're seeing Jotaro staring at him, right, from a distance, and Dio's walking down the street, and he's using the world, but you're not seeing the stop happen, so suddenly just things explode around him for no reason.
Yeah.
A stop sign crushes in, a glass breaks, a fire hydrant pops open, and it's the most intimidating thing ever because you don't know what's causing it, but like everything is being affected by the world, you know? That use of time stop without seeing its actual effects is absolutely what I would do. Yeah, that's a great question. I love that.
That's wonderful. All right, we are out of time.
Kira,
So
thank you so much.
yes,
I
good
love
games.
it.
Thank you
GGs.
guys for tuning in and hanging out with us to talk about JoJo, which is like my favorite thing to talk about. I'll be real.
Yep. Old man Joseph, you're a cheating son of a bitch.